Hi, and good morning from Canberra in Australia. As many of you know, I'm now living over here, so I thought I would bring my videos outside. So we're currently sitting by Lake Burley Griffin in the centre of Canberra, and today I want to talk to you about gender recognition certificates. Gender recognition certificates are the piece of paper that the government issues you to say that you have transitioned from your assigned gender at birth to your chosen gender. It's a long and complicated process. It's slow. Unlike other countries, the UK make it difficult for it to happen. Although we can change our passports, our NHS details, our driving licence, and a lot of other things to show our true name and true gender. The only people who can issue you with a birth certificate which shows your true gender or your gender you identify as, and the name that you have chosen is a gender recognition certificate. Some people find that they don't need to apply for one, they're quite happy without one. Some people apply for one as soon as they can, and that's my situation. A gender recognition certificate gets you a birth certificate in your chosen name and gender, stating that you are whoever you are, born whatever gender you identify as on your original date of birth. And that confirms that the UK government recognises you as your chosen gender identity from when you were born. It also allows you to get married and have your chosen gender recorded on your marriage certificate. So I currently don't have a gender recognition certificate. So when I got married in February, my wife, who's Australian, has changed her birth certificate and her gender to reflect her gender identity as female. So we got married in February in Scotland. I did the application for a marriage licence, and on that I had to put down that I was male. Although on the application my role is as a bride, and my name is the name I have chosen, Tabbetha, I had to record my gender as male. And although on the actual marriage certificate, once you're married, it doesn't have your gender on it. It just has my name, date of birth, my role in the marriage. If you look it up on the computer system in Scotland and able to see it, it identifies me as male. So that's one of the advantages of a gender recognition certificate. The other is it allows you to be buried as your chosen gender. So on my death certificate, if I died today, it would say I was male. Even though it has I would be down as Tabbetha, I will still be regarded as male. With a gender recognition certificate, you're recognised as a female for that purposes. Not that anyone will actually see their own death certificate, but it can be important to people. It also allows your tax records to be securely held, so only certain people within the HMRC can access them and actually identify that you are trans. And that's important for some people because they don't want the information that they have transitioned to be in the public domain. So yeah, those are 3 benefits from having a gender recognition certificate. So the process of getting a gender recognition certificate is it's at least a 2-year process. So it's done all online, and you can, if you do a search for gender recognition certificate UK, you will come up with information about it and how to access the application form online. And basically you cannot apply for a gender recognition certificate until you have lived as your true self for 2 years. So that means being out publicly for 2 years prior to applying. During those 2 years there are so to apply for a gender recognition certificate, there are certain reports that you need to obtain and submit to the panel. You need 2 medical reports from a GP or a gender specialist and either a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but they have to be on the gender panel official list of people who can write these medical reports. So you can, again, all this is listed on the GRC website. And the list isn't very long, it's quite short, and yeah, access to these specialists can be expensive. For some people it's you had to wait. If you're going down the NHS route, you wait until you've been seen by them at the NHS and got your, basically it's 2 medical reports confirming your gender dysphoria and stating that you are gender dysphoric, and then you need a statutory declaration or a deed poll for changing your name, and you need your marriage certificate and a statutory declaration from your partner and stating whether they wish to stay in the marriage after your gender recognition certificate is issued. And again, that's another statutory declaration where your partner has to sign saying that they're happy to or not to stay in the marriage as a same-sex marriage. And then you had to provide everyday evidence of you living as your true self. This can be bank statements, utility bills, council tax bills, pay slips, P45s, anything which shows that you lived your life as your true self for at least 2 years before you apply for the gender recognition certificate. So for me, I came out in October 2022, so that's my start date. I changed my name on the 1st of December, so that's my statutory declaration for the change of name. I've got medical reports from my gender clinic up in Edinburgh, and one from a psychiatrist at the same clinic, confirming that I suffer with gender dysphoria. I included my first marriage and my divorce certificate, and also my second marriage certificate, and the statutory declaration from my new wife saying that she's happy to stay in the marriage once my gender has been recognised. And then I included lots of things. I included utility bills, bank statements. I had got my passport and driving licence changed, so I included the scans of them. I had got my university degree certificates changed, so I included scans of them. But yeah, they want different pieces of evidence, from one for roughly for every 3 months that you've been out. And then once you collect all this evidence and upload it, you can save it as you go along. It's you don't have to do it all in one go. You can do it as you progress. And then once you reach the 2-year mark, you need to get a statutory declaration confirming that the date of when you started your transition, how long you have been transitioning for, and you had to get that. Again, all these statutory declarations need to be notarized by a notary public, which is, again, it's all another cost. Once you have uploaded all these and completed the online application, you then need to pay for it. And here's the good part: there is some light in this process. To apply for a gender recognition certificate, it costs you £5. That doesn't seem much, but you had to bear in mind that for this process you most probably got your new passport done, new driving licence. So passport is £98, driving licence £17. You've got several documents notarised by solicitors, which solicitors don't come cheap. And yeah, you might have to get other documents like changing your name on university degree certificates. Some university will charge you for that. I was fortunate, neither of my universities charged me. So yeah, although it only cost you £5 to apply for the certificate, it can be a costly process with all the legal documents and passports and driving licenses. Once you submit and pay for the recognition certificate, they will tell you what documents they wish you to send in for them to see in person. For me, it was just a original or certified copy of my birth certificate, my birth certificate, which I duly sent in. I've got an acknowledgement of my receipt of my application, and now I'm at the point of a waiting game. They say they will make their decision within the next 30 weeks. So we're currently in October 2024, so they will not make a decision. They will make a decision at the latest by the 12th of May 2025. That's 30 weeks away. This seems a long time, but again, I think I'm guessing that I'm 1,087th person to apply for a recognition certificate this year. So yeah, they've got a pretty heavy workload working through all this paperwork and checking it and double checking it and make sure it all matches up. But the thing is about a gender recognition certificate, it is decided by a group of people, a gender recognition panel, based in the part of the Department of Justice in the UK, and they will never meet you, never see you, never speak to you, never see how you interact as your chosen gender. And they will, based on the paper evidence that you supply, will make the decision about whether your gender can be changed. And I feel this is unfair, unjust. How can someone make a decision which affects the rest of my life without meeting me, without speaking to me, or interacting with me, discussing how I feel and how other people perceive me? But that's the way it is in the UK. Scotland tried to change the Gender Recognition Act with the Gender Reform Act in Scotland. Unfortunately, although it passed the Scottish Parliament, the last Conservative government blocked it becoming law due to it impacting on discrimination legislation from Westminster, which is a reserved power. So in Scotland, we didn't get the recognition reform bill passed or become law, which is a shame. Although I didn't agree with all of it, but I agreed with some of it. So that's my view and my comments about the Gender Recognition Act and how to apply for a gender recognition certificate. I hope it is beneficial for you. If you have any comments or need any advice about applying, send me a message and I'll try my best to give you advice based on my experience. I can't guarantee it's all that helpful, but at least it's something to help you. Well, good day, and I hope you enjoy this video where I'll let you see where I am. We're having a view around Lake Burley Griffin. We've got the Australian government over there. It's a busy day in Canberra today. We've got the King and Queen visiting, so yeah, it's very busy over here. I'm thoroughly enjoying living over here, and I will send you more videos in the future, maybe from outside enjoying the sun. Bye.